Okay, look, we both said a lot of things that you're going to regret. But I think we can put our differences behind us. For science. You monster.
They say great science is built on the shoulders of giants. Not here. At Aperture, we do all our science from scratch. No hand-holding.
Target acquired.
Mic check. Mic check. Testing. Mic. Mic. What's going on, guys? XCaliber here, and we are back in another Anvil REFORGED build series. Everybody's doing good on a Wednesday. I thought it was Thursday, like all morning. I thought it was Thursday. Turns out it's Wednesday. Oh well. Oh well. It's fine. It's fine. Coffee is brewed. Good to go. Good to go. What are we doing? What are we doing in Empyrion here? So, what was it? Sunday? No, Monday. Sunday. Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. We did the wrap-up stream with Jay Randall. And I showed you guys the new Augur Mark C capital vessel miner that I've been working on. And I got this thing done. Other than some more texturing. This Bad boy's done. Good to go. I got a little problem with the LCD here. I don't know if anybody in chat, maybe we gotta wait for more people to pop in, but I do have an issue with that LCD. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But so the problem in the stream on Sunday was that just didn't have enough power. This was lacking in power. It was redlining. So yeah, I fixed it. Now it's got plenty of power. I didn't lose anything either. Well, sorry, I did. I lost the turret on the bottom. Boo-hoo. And you could put one in there, too, if you want. Like, up to you guys. There's room for turrets on the sides. But this is a module, technically, so that's why I don't have that stuff on there. But more than welcome to add turrets to this thing. And I might even add a turret or two on here. I don't know yet. I don't think so, but yeah, no, I'm very happy with this thing. We still have to test it. So it will be tested and see how it goes. I think it'll be fine though. That guy, he is callous for I don't know what that means. Heckin', you're not making any sense. Not that that's unusual. Most of what you say I don't get, but but fair enough, fair enough. So yeah, now this thing can it can mine in all directions and move, and it's about 60. Good to go. So Auger Mark C, that is just needs to be tested. And I think we should be good. I'm excited about this one. A little bit of a hole in my workshop, really, because you know I have the Auger S, right, the SV miners. I got plenty of HV miners. I have CV miners, but none that I'm super happy with. So I'm hoping this one will fill that void. I got you, Hagen. I got you. No worries. So yeah, I think today we're gonna continue working on the modular CV prototype here. Hey, Lycan, what's up? I don't know, maybe the Anvil needs to make their own language. Then we could all just speak the same language. That'd be cool. Make your own language, the Anvil language. Anvilian, speak Anvilian, what do you think? Cause see, I hate that, man. I hate that people feel like they gotta avoid voice just because, you know, they have a different first language, you know? It's like, you know, you guys speak English fine. So, I don't know, we gotta work on that. Maybe that's something on my end, maybe that's just something unconscious, subconscious that people are assuming there's an issue or whatever, but dude, I never have an issue with it. And honestly, I mean, it's arrogant to expect people to, you know, expect everybody to speak your language, right? Like, yeah, that's kind of ridiculous to think that you're closing yourself off to an entire world, literally, you know. So HV with purpose. So for my gameplay, HV has no more real purpose since HVs can mine. So I want for a SV. No, HV only. Find purpose. There's purpose, dude. Stop it. Or justify the purpose you have for SVs and try to put it into an HV. Just make it a building exercise, man. I mean, that's what it is, you know? Try to find try to find either a unique purpose for an HV or emulate the purpose you use your SV for and try to see if you can make a cool HV. This is such an intimidating build. It really is. Like, it's super intimidating. I'm gonna start working on the front and back here. That'll help. I think that'll help things a little. Just believe it or not, is the back. I mean, sure. Here you go. Yeah, Pretorius, that's the idea. Luke the Nuke. What's going on, man? Hey, what's up, man? It is a lot of thrusters, but it is a lot of cargo. 45 million cargo, potentially, so it needs it. We'll absolutely need it. Yeah, Geoff, definitely, dude. You just have it could be anything too. It could be a thruster, but as long as your cursor is pointed at the block, you just shift, and then boom. And if you're in symmetry, it'll remove it from both sides too, which is super helpful. Yeah, I miscalculated it again. Jesus. I want it bigger though, or not? Hey, Club Life, what's up, man? Hey, Matt. Problem, I gotta make it bigger. Hey, Kid Did, what's up, man? Hey, Watson, how you doing? Hey, what's up, Bear? I don't know. I don't know if I like this, but so the idea is to, you know, not force you to get all these at once, right? We're gonna keep, I don't know, we'll either keep the 2 in the center or the 4 on the outside, depending on how much it needs to push these empty. And then as you progress, you'll put in more. I don't even know if 6 is enough. I'm kind of thinking it's not, but yeah, now we're encroaching on big numbers already, right? And we only have a mil left, and we don't have a ship yet, so you know. So we'll see, but the idea is to not because the main purpose of this build is cargo transport. It's not gonna have a ton of bells and whistles. We're not gonna, you know, it's a specific ship for a specific purpose, and it's not a everything ship. So it's built around being able to excel at carrying a very large amount of cargo. But because of that, you're sacrificing a lot of other, you know, features that you would normally have. You know, so it is modeled after the Orion from Star Citizen, but it's more closely functionally built around like the whole D or something from Star Citizen, which is just purely a big cargo hauler. This isn't gonna have a lot of mining capabilities. I am gonna include some drill turrets, some mining turrets and stuff, but you know, you're not gonna be taking this thing to an asteroid and mining. That's what you're gonna have, like the Augur C4, or you know, your favorite, you know, CV miner, you know, and then it's gonna report back to here and move it along. So exactly, Pear. That's it. Where, you know, this thing is not a combat ship. It doesn't, you know, it's not gonna have a lot of those capabilities. Darkest, what's up, man? How you doing? So this is essentially going to be the engineering. You know, it doesn't have to be a lot; just has to be able to hold everything, right? So it's going to have the generator, it's going to have the shield and whatnot. So my group, you know, myself, Jay Randall, Donk, and Obsidian, we had a Helios with, at one point we had 2 cargo systems, so 40 complete 320k cargo systems, and a P module. I guess I would count that to be 8 more. So, you know, and then some random stuff like the Apollo. I'd say we were filling up maybe 50 cargo systems completely. So yeah, about 50. So to put that in perspective, one of these is 18. So roughly one of these should house our entire season at highest, and then we'll have a whole nother one here. So yeah. Hey, Donk, what's up, man? Hey, Mass, thanks, man. Donk, how you coming along with yours, man? Set my password, been a long time since. Roger that. Good to have you, man. Oh. Hold on, guys, my headset died. Mass Tanker is one of the original SAS members that I used to game with, tank with, in World of Tanks and whatnot. Getting back into Empyrion building. Or also, do I separate cargo ships like this? Have you been enjoying the server but not going too crazy till... Yeah, so the idea behind the module system, right? It's not only customizing of your CV. So some people favor more cargo. You know, they want to do more salvage, cargo transport. Other people want to have more amenities in their CV, like a bigger garden, like, you know, bigger processing capabilities. But it's a way to evade CPU limits. So, you know, let's say you have a CV that's a combat CV. You know, like the bludgeon, right? You know, like the bludgeon over here. So the bludgeon is it's a combat CV. It's built for mid-level combat. Its CPU is not represented correctly here, but the CPU is, you know, supposed to be within... I don't know what's wrong with this one, but whatever. I don't think it's the right one. But anyway, so let's say that it's at a limit, right? At the proper limit of whatever the CPU blocks are in here, right? So, you know, that's all you can do with it. But let's say it only has 2 cargo systems. That's not enough for you. You need more cargo, but you want to be able to move around and fight stuff and salvage it. So what do? You have a little area here to put a module. So then let's say you have a cargo module that you could fit into here. Now all of a sudden you have a combat CV with 20 cargo systems. That 20 cargo module CV has its own CPU with its own limit, but then you're able to haul it with this with its limit. So it's just a good way of getting around some of those CPU limitations with function. And it's not, you know, it's not cheaty because you're still having to lift the thing. You're still having to be able to move the thing. So it's a little bit of a handicap. Like a track runner with weights on his legs, right? You know, I mean, you're still paying for that that limit, but you know, at the same time, you're gaining that added function. You know, you're able to expand your function capabilities with a build. It's fun, man. It's fun. Get in here, man. Keep me company. I'm not talking to myself. No, Watson. So one thing about me is I do not play experimental branch. Under no circumstance are you ever gonna see me in experimental branch. I don't do it. I wait until it's stable and then I play in stable. I will always only be in the stable branch. Not that I have any, like, I'm not saying there's you know, usually I have a profound reason. I just, it gets messy with blueprints, right? You know, you're experimental, you're sharing, you're back and forth, you're doing these things. Oh, you gotta have 1.5 to do this, you gotta have, you know, no, I don't like doing that. So that's why, you know, all builds, all challenge submissions are always stable. You know, so like with this month's challenge, I assume 1.5 will be out, so I assume we're going to be looking at it in stable 1.5. But always build for stable. Never build in experimental for the challenges. Now, if you've already done it, chances are it's fine. It's going to be 1.5. You'll be just fine. And honestly, I'm waiting for some of the things in 1.5 anyway, like the bigger blast doors, stuff like that anyway, so, you know, just time it. But just, you know, in the weird case that that's not the case, be prepared to roll it back to 1.4. You know, if there's any weird thing that you put in it. Awesome, awesome. That sounds great. Yeah, Garmin, good point, good point. Just don't do it. Just don't do it, guys. It's not worth it. Oh my god, I need more coffee. Where did Donk go? Donk must be at work or something. Oh, is there anybody in chat? And this is probably a bigger community question, but I'm realizing that a lot of people are confused. Is there anybody in chat that doesn't understand the Project Prefab Challenge versus the Designers Challenge, and that they're two totally separate things? Because I'm seeing a lot of people saying, "Oh, what is this month? Is it this or is it prefabs?" I don't think people understand that it's both, and that from now on there's going to be two completely separate challenges that you can participate in. Not sure if people understand that. Sometimes they'll overlap, so I mean, sometimes that'll be a thing, but for the most part, you know, they're completely separate things. People understand that. Yeah, they're long term. So I get it. So you guys understand because you watch me and you heard it come out of my mouth and explanation and stuff. But I think some people, it gets a little, you know, they get their information from different places. So maybe they're getting it from, I don't know, somewhere else, and it's causing some confusion. So I just want to make sure people understand that. Yeah, I saw that. He sent me some of that too. That's cool. It's very good. again, we're not including 4 of these. But we are making room for.
Hey, what's up?
There he is. You good? You got lost in the lobby?
I had to eat something.
Oh God! Like cornflakes and shit. Like you're just sitting there. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, my bad.
I was hungry, man.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Me too. Taco night tonight.
That's kind of funny because that's actually just what I had was tacos. So.
Oh, tell me more.
Tacos.
No,
I'm doing the keto thing.
They're not getting away with that. Come on now.
I'm doing the keto thing. So, mixed with, so it was just regular beef mixed with, like cayenne pepper and, chili powder and some kind of weird mix thing that's supposed to make tacos by itself. And yeah, that was pretty much it. So actually it was good, but it's kind of boring.
Hold on. Okay, so you made this yourself from scratch, or like you put the ground beef in there and you sauteed it with the spices?
Yeah.
So just those 3 spices. That's it. Done. Salt, pepper.
No. Don't need no more salt or pepper.
Okay. What?
But no, I bought one of those things that you just pour it into.
Thingy. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I just added a little bit extra, heat to it.
Okay. So, all right. So you did that, and then you just had it with like a taco shell.
No, I just ate it just like that. I put it on top of lettuce, and so I guess it was more like a taco salad, I guess.
How dare you call that a taco?
Well, it's a keto taco. I mean, I can't.
No, stop it.
It's sad.
Taco.
It's sad.
He had some beef, and he called it a taco. I mean, that was just as much meatloaf as it was a taco. Like, there's no. How is that? I mean, it's beef.
Okay, I had Mexican meatloaf. There we go.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess the cumin. Yeah, you can call it that. Wow, we need to talk. You could have done so much more with that, sir.
Oh man, no, it's time to eat, man.
A little lime, just a little lime and a little lemon zest there would have spiced that up,
Nah, that's too much work. I have to go get a lime.
You couldn't have chopped an onion up and threw it in there with some peppers and stuff?
That sounds really good, but no, that's way too hard. That's way too much work.
Oh,
come on!
It's painful, man.
It's doing? One step up from Taco Bell, so
I disagree. Taco Bell gives you some of those things, and in the Taco Bell's taco meat, there's like 15 different spices. Yours had 2 or
and like sawdust.
Yeah, but you know.
It tastes good though.
Yeah. Yeah. No. All right.
Yeah, I don't know why you're always so surprised when I tell you these things. It's not a cook.
No, you don't have to be a cook, but I mean, just just a little bit of a little something. Just throw a little something in there, man. Change the whole game.
I did. I put a little bit of chili powder and whatever that other one was.
All right. Fair enough.
So chat's asking regarding the future vanilla server, will there be a Project Eden or just plain vanilla?
Who is this one person asking about the vanilla server all the time? Or is it somebody else?
This is P. Watson. No.
Oh, it's two people. Okay, well, it's two people. I don't. So yeah, with the vanilla server, we will be looking at Project Eden. Definitely, it's not going to be vanilla. But it'll definitely have Project Eden. But yeah, more will be revealed. I still got to talk to Krellis and see where we're at with that and all that. So we shall see.
Caravan says Taco Bell, the company that couldn't get their meat actually called meat. That is true.
Right. Yeah. Taco Bell was awesome back in the 90s, but no, I'm good.
See, my problem is, I mean, it's growing up around us, so it's not so bad, but it's the only place within a 20-minute drive, So it's like, do you really want to drive 20 minutes to, Dairy Queen or whatnot? So...
And I haven't ate at any of those places in 10 years, dude. So it's like...
So you're like, yeah, I'll drive 20 minutes.
Yeah, but honestly, like when I would go to the U.S. Virgin Island, which is half an hour away, right? We would go and we would eat at like so they have a McDonald's there, they have a KFC there, they have a Pizza Hut and a Domino's, and a Wendy's. Those are the 5 things they have on that island. And I usually get McDonald's breakfast, and then I'll get like Wendy's usually, or we'll get like a Domino's pizza. And I gotta say, dude, I think I've only had maybe 1 or 2 good experiences from that. And it's interesting, like you don't realize it when you eat it frequently. But when you don't eat fast food for like a year and then you go and you eat it, it messes you up, dude. Like, holy shit. It never works out good, and I'm usually at the Office Max using the bathroom. Like,
yeah.
It's just a thing. It's like, oh, I gotta go to Office Max. I'll be back. It's just never a good thing. Yeah, and it's like, but I always do it because I'm always like, oh man, it's been so long. But no, it's not great.
Yes. Yeah, that's how I am. Especially, it's probably been a month or 2 since I've had fast food. I might be lying, but it's been a while. But every time I do, I regret it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Philbert Farmer says I have to go 20 minutes just to get anywhere. Whenever I was younger, I lived pretty close to where I used to live when I was a kid, but it used to be an hour drive just to get to the closest place to get food. It was terrible, man. Oh, man.
Yeah, no. I don't know. I think I do really good in the States now. Like, now that I'm like... Because I'd be cooking, right? And, like, stuff is so much cheaper for you guys than it is here, so it's like I feel like I would do just fine now.
Yeah, the whole cooking at home and stuff, it's definitely necessary. Well, I shouldn't say necessary, but it's nice because you save so much money.
A blackstone. What's a blackstone? See, I don't like KFC. No. I'll take a Popeyes first, and then I'll take like a Church's. I'll take anything before a KFC. KFC, if nah, you know they lose me with the mashed potatoes, man. Fucking bland ass mashed potatoes. Eat that shit.
It's the best griddle in the world.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Who was telling me about that? JTKE was telling me about those things. The problem with me is it's shipping it. So I'll pay for it, and then I got to pay the same amount just to ship it down here. So I got to pay double for anything I want to get down here, and it's rough with some of those heavy things. I can't really get them, fortunately. I'm liking this.
Is a griddle that thing that like the George Foreman grill? Is that a griddle?
No, griddle would be like you go to any like it's just a flat hot surface that you would cook stuff like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so great for breakfast stuff. Just great for just all around. Like I could do a lot of shit with that, man. That whole taco stream I did last month, man. Imagine making tortillas on that thing. Probably would have saved an hour doing that.
Probably.
Hey, thanks, Ice Wolf. I appreciate that, man. One sec, let me grab a water. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so speaking of griddles, so my stove, it has like a middle burner that's like really, really long that has a flat thing that goes on it. So yeah, I guess we got a grill too, and they are really nice to cook things on. So I just wish it was wider. Yeah, Pretorius. Yeah. So we lived in our house probably 15 years now, and we just finally saved up enough money to remodel our kitchen last year, or maybe it was the year before that. And then we had this huge storm come in that messed up our roof, and we're like, really, we just spent all of our money remodeling, and now we got to friggin'. I mean, we have insurance, but you still got to pay a lot with insurance, so that was very aggravating.
Man, I know, dude. Insurance like doubled since the Hurricane Irma now. Oh my god. The amount of money you gotta pay for home insurance down here now, it's freaking insane.
Yeah, ours is probably going to jump this year because we had all that hail and ice a couple months ago.
Yeah.
On Friday, I want to say, we had a big windstorm come through and rain, and it knocked down another one of my trees. So, we're now down to 3 trees, and I'm like, man, a year ago we had 5.
Wow.
So it's like, oh well, it is what it is. Yeah, and then hail damage. Speaking of hail damage, so I bought a work truck in February of this year, and then we got all that hail damage like a month later. I hadn't even got my new tags in yet, and I was so mad. I'm like, I got a brand new truck, and now it's got all these tings everywhere. So then I got to pay another $500 to get that thing fixed. And I'm like, and then I got rear-ended 2 weeks ago in that truck. So it's just like, man, it's been a bad year.
Oh, I'm so frustrated, man. I really wish they had the other things for the bigger one. They only have the things like this. Like, I wish they had the bigger
Oh yeah, yeah, that would look nice. Yeah, darkest. You're right. That's why I can't have nice things.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do next Designer's Challenge stream?
Hmm.
I got an idea. I got a funny idea. Or maybe we'll do it Sunday for wrap up. Imagine if I took a build, right? Just any build. And we did designer's charades. And like I had to build
Yes, that built. Oh,
I had to build like a designer or build like color or shape or something. Basically I would have to represent another designer's style and like the first person to guess it, you know what I mean? And then we'll do like points and shit. That's kind of cool, right? Like,
that would be pretty interesting.
That'd be fun.
But the problem is you had to limit it to like one guess or something. That way people just don't rattle off the big builders, you know?
Totally. I wonder if there's bots for that or something. If there's a way to do that a little more organized, you know? Like where you could vote once and like that's it, you know? Or have like one poll, not vote, but you know what I mean? Like make one comment about like a specific thing and then it's logged.
Yeah,
So
I have
like
no idea.
exclamation mark, some shit, your guess. Gotta be something like that, right?
Yeah, you'd think so, because it sounds like it would be something like that. What if we falling apple or whatever is in charades? You know, that would be interesting. Try to build a tree with an apple falling down.
Oh wow, no.
Too far?
Yeah,
Okay.
no. I think only 2 or 3 people could pull that off. I'm not one of them. Get Siege in here, man. You remember Siege's crazy like Mario castle thingy?
Oh yeah, with the princess and yeah, that was cool.
Nuts, dude. Oh, why? What is wrong with me in symmetry? Like, I'm refusing to use it for them.
All right, symmetry.
Ah!
You just talked about it.
I know. I'm just like, eh. Alright, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, mass tanker. So when you're in creative, if you have your block in your hand and you look at a block, you can hit shift, right click, and deletes that block without using a multi-tool.
Yeah, so like I got these up, right? If I just shift and right click, and then when you're in symmetry, it removes it from both sides. So as long as you do this on both sides, it'll always be the other side that's affected. But if I was to take a multi-tool and remove this, that side's still gonna be there. So this is it makes building so much faster when you're doing this. I'm pretty sure I probably did. Now I'm thinking about what we were just talking about earlier. Oh man. Before there was El Dunk, there was Mass Tanker. Oh my god. When we were first playing Empyrion, right? First playing Empyrion. Well, no, not first. When Mass was first playing Empyrion, we were all in a server, and we were building our first base, and so imagine we're on a planet, right? We're like, Mass, make a base, make a quick little like base, just a little block base, because we were teaching him how to build, right? So, you know, he what did he do? He put down the little base starter block, right? Where would that be?
You have to have all selected, yeah.
Yeah, so he puts this down, right? And he's like, all right. And he's like, what do we do next? And I'm like, okay, we gotta put some blocks down. So he's like, all right, I'll put some blocks down. Just like, he's like, how big do you want it to be? And you know, he's just putting the thing. But imagine it's survival, right? So he's doing this in survival. He's hopping around. He's you know, he's like, I'm gonna get this going. It doesn't need to be that big, right? Like, no, yeah. So he's like this. He's like, oh yeah, you know, it's gonna be great, and you know, and then I think we were gathering. We're like, okay, the base is done. He's like, yeah, the base is done, guys. We're like, all right, cool. And we're looking at it. We're like, he's like, so, guys, how do you get inside?
That's something I would do. Yes, that's definitely before me.
That is so, dude, it was awesome, man. But
that's funny.
Oh, it was hilarious, dude. But that's it. Like, you don't know, right? When you play a new game, and I think I gotta say, this was probably his first survival game ever. He had come straight from World of Tanks, so this whole genre he had no idea about. And you know, now he's building really cool shit. So he's got a submission for the challenge from last month. We're probably gonna look at it next week. But not only that, but we've done a cooperative build before. He's put some stuff up on the workshop. So you gotta start somewhere, right? You know, you start somewhere and you understand the game, and then your eyes just open up, and you just go like, man, like, you know, now I'm starting to get it, and then you get in the mix of it. You know, it's like I remember when this was a couple years ago, Kiev, who some of you guys that have been playing Empyrion a long time know who Kiev is, right? He's got one of the most amazing prefabs ever in the game. He you know, he stopped playing Empyrion for whatever reason. I'm not gonna get into it, but he was like, oh man, you got to try Interstellar Rift. He's like, it's great. It building's really good, like Empyrion, and it's amazing, and you know, so I got it, and I got into it, and to record, I have about 5 minutes of playtime in that game. I looked at the building mechanics, and I left. I was like, no, dude, I can't do this. There's no way I can sit here and learn another game. It's the same thing about Starship Evo and Dual Universe and all these other building games. They're intimidating when you first get into them because you don't understand the mechanics. You feel like a complete idiot, and you know, but you know, once you get used to it, you know, your eyes start to open up, and then, you know, like I've always said, you start to draw with blocks. You know, when you get to that level, the blocks are now a pen, and you're able to really kind of like form what you're seeing in your brain, and it becomes like another thing, you know. But you got to understand the mechanics of how it works, just like a computer, just like anything, you know, just like anything. You just gotta get used to the format. Yeah, crazy. It's horrible.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Some of them are really terrible. Like, I absolutely hate 7 Days to Die because of how they're building, and it's just because you right click instead of left click to place things. And I'm constantly placing down blocks and then have to rip them up, and I just get so mad. It's like, it's a great game, except I hate building in it.
Absolutely. No, I agree. It's gotten me a bunch of times too, man. It's frustrating. But that's it. I mean, we play so much of this game that this is our standard. You know, but you grab, you know, if you go grab Splitsy out of Space Engineers and bring him in here, he's gonna be like, where's my welder tool? It's like, no welder tool, champ. Just lay him out. Let's go. So it's, yeah. And then he's gonna be like, well, what about my conveyor systems? What about that? None of that's important. Just lay blocks, make it look pretty.
Yeah, I actually watched him and what's his buddy's name? Capac, I think. Do a stream on it on Empyrion, and it was the funniest thing I watched. I'm like, he's such a great builder in Space Engineers, but in this, oh man, he was having a hard time.
Yeah. Yep. I really wish I had my first HV still from Alpha 1 or Alpha 2 or whatever the first Alpha is that I played. That would be so cool to see that. Like, I have screenshots of it, but I don't have the actual build. Obviously, it was old system I don't have anymore.
Yeah, I was showing somebody, I don't remember who it was, but some of my very first CV builds, and I'm like, I'm not that good, but man, those were terrible. You know, it's like I've gone a long way from where I was way back when I thought I was awesome.
Oh, me too, man. Ask Mass, dude. I used to show them the builds that I was working on, and I was so freaking proud of them. Like, I thought I arrived, dude. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. Like, and now I look at those builds and I'm like, yeah,
oh,
no,
it hurts.
No. Like those guys were pretty cool. Not to call me out. It's like, yeah, XCal, that shit looks amazing. Wow, look at you.
That's funny. Yeah. People are nice most of the time. The captain's back.
Hey, Captain Steve, how you doing? Welcome back. 1.5 on the horizon. I think I'm gonna pull this out one more block here. So, Mass, this is another thing that you could do in the game here. Copy and paste. You just press the N button, and you get this N menu. This is where the symmetry plane is. Like, if you want to set symmetry mode, you just press N, click symmetry plane, and you can do all the accesses. Unfortunately, you can't do more than one at once, but usually it's the YZ people do. So you would just press N again, and then you will hold down and click where you want the split to be. So like right in the middle of the middle center of it, and then you'll get that mirror effect, right? But if you want to copy paste, like I want to move this entire back section out one block. So I would press N, I'd go to selection, and then I'd press N to exit, and then I'd press N, I'd hold down N, and I'd click a block, and now it's gonna give me this blue space, right? So now when I'm out of here, I could I go to 0, so I don't have anything in my hand. But you see, I have this this kind of blue silhouette block here. What I could do is I can stretch it out. So I'll choose the stretch tool. Then I could stretch this thing out to where it will encompass this entire thing, right? So now I've got a hold of this entire thing. Now I could press X and make it disappear, and then I could press paste, make it reappear. So now it's in green, meaning it can be moved. So now I could take this thing and I can move it out and then paste it again. And I can make it go out one block. Let me make sure that's exactly what I want to do. Take one box. So then I'll go ahead and paste it again. Now it's in blue, and that means it's permanent. So there's more advanced stuff that honestly I don't even mess with. Like there's you can keep copies of different pastes or different things you've cut or copied down here. That's a lot. I don't get into all that. I haven't had a build where I've needed to do that, but there's some people that do a lot of that. You could find some of that stuff on YouTube, and other content creators have made tutorials for that stuff, but I don't build anything big enough to justify needing that, to be honest.
So, P. Watson asks, Elion dropped the patch this morning for 1.5, so maybe a week or so for the release. I'm thinking he's talking about Project Eden and
the patch. No, they released an experimental update patch. They didn't release the stable patch, did they?
Oh, I have no idea.
I didn't see a stable patch. I could be wrong. I mean, am I wrong, guys? I don't think it was the stable. They've delayed the stable another week, I think. Yeah, so we still got a ways to go. So timeline wise, once the patch, the stable 1.5 for vanilla is released, you know, Project Eden and Reforged Galaxy are going to need to be patched. Once they're happy with their updates, then they're going to merge that into Reforged Eden 1.5. I'm giving them at least a week, if not 2 weeks, for that process. And then the Anvil server admin team is going to need at least a week to prepare the server, test everything, prepare the Galaxy hubs, prepare the content, exclusive Anvil content. So we got a ways to go, guys. We got the month of June probably to prepare for season 3. So it'll take time, because listen, we're not gonna release the we're not gonna open the server for season 3 and then something's wrong and we got to start over. That's something I never want to do. I never want to say go and then have to take it back. So we're gonna make sure it's right, and then, you know, go from there. But definitely be excited, guys, because we got some cool shit coming, man. Lots of good times. I'm freaking looking forward to it. Big way. Oh, symmetry mode! Damn you, Donk! Bastard!
You know, honestly, I was building it, and I have symmetry mode on, so I'm fine.
Zarfius, thank you for that follow, man. Welcome. Links below to the absolute greatest Empyrion community ever. Possibly greatest gaming community ever, but you know, that's, you know, remains to be seen. We will see. I would never call it that myself. You know, others have called it that. But yeah. Definitely worth popping in, man. We got a lot of cool shit going on at all times. Hey, did anybody stick around yesterday for that raid after I raided? I did a raid after my Subnautica stream. I was cracking up. I don't know if anybody else like was sticking around for it. Let me know. But I was absolutely cracking up.
Welcome to XBC.
Whoa! Filbert Farmer popping off 10 gift subs. Big height.
Welcome to XBC.
Heckin' Diver, Zam Bam, thank you, ma'am. Fedora Bro, Clever Trevor, Mass Tanker, Ephrodel,
Welcome to XBC.
Chaos Reigns, Bass Burger, Vimes, and Vinman. Welcome to XBC, guys. Hell yeah.
Welcome to XBC.
How many's that, Filbert?
Welcome to XBC.
Freaking Filbert, man. Legend status of the gift subs.
Welcome to XBC. Welcome to XBC. Welcome to XBC.
Big hype, dude. Just, yeah.
Welcome to XBC.
We are definitely gonna need to have
Welcome to XBC.
a legitimate Anvil community meeting stream to go over a lot of the stuff that we're doing here for season 3 as a whole, and really just things in general. There's a lot of stuff that we got, you know, that we're doing, that we're talking about doing, and we definitely need to get into a proper stream about it. Damn, 410, big hype, dude. Dude, this is turning out better than I anticipated here. I'm really digging the back of this.
Symmetry.
Yeah, so we're working on the back now. Done the back so far, and then eventually we're gonna do the front here. Get it going. So I think 4 big generators is probably good, but maybe. Oh,
I think you're gonna need more than that.
you think?
Yeah, I think so.
4?
Those extra large. Wait, do you got the advanced or
Yeah,
the
big
oh,
the big fuckers? Yeah.
well, how many advanced or jet drives or whatever they're called do you have?
Oh, I don't know yet. Not sure how many we're gonna end up having here.
Because I know I can run with 4 generators. I ran I want to say 12 of the big boys, so without a problem.
With how many?
4. I have 4 advanced gens on my carrier, and I think I have 12 drive thrusters.
Right. So I don't want this thing to move on a dime at all, but I do want it to be able to move to warp and stuff. So it needs to be able to turn. It doesn't have to turn. You know, the idea of this thing is this is a massive like cargo carrier. So you know, it shouldn't be nimble by any regard. I want it to feel like that, like a cargo hull.
Yeah, feel heavy. Yeah.
Dude, Captain Steve, absolutely, sir. Not only that, but the Anvil has a proper experimental vanilla server live right now. Absolutely live. And any issues that you find in 1.5 experimental, all you gotta do is submit a bug report into the Discord, and a real live Elion dev will get that and be able to implement change in the experimental. So that's a really cool benefit that we have in the communities. We have Elion devs that monitor these things and take bug reports and stuff. So yeah, dude, jump in, have some fun. Oh, Garmin, that's nuts. All right, well, if we have to make that bigger, we have to make it bigger. Yeah, I don't know. Testing's gonna be a thing.
Oh, really? Oh, did they mess with power again? They might have messed with power again because I haven't actually used my carrier in a long time.
I also gotta figure out where the hell the rest of this thrust is going. Oh my god.
What is it that you told me? Always place your thrust first.
Yeah.
Yes, jerk move. Oh yeah, that might look pretty cool. Having gone all four ways off that.
Yeah. Too tall.
But yeah, I'll give it a little bit more shaping though. I think you do need to make it one wider though. Captain Steve's asking, is the size class limit still going to be 15?
Was it 15 in season 2?
I thought it was like 12, but I don't know for sure.
No, it was. I thought it was 18. Yeah, it's 18. Yeah. So right now it's 18. We are talking about raising it. I don't know where those talks are right now, but we're in talks, guys. I think side on the sides would be better. But yeah, I definitely need to make this one lot wider. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be painful. Oh, not really. Oh, but I have to undock all these on the back. Whoa, whoa, whoa! You don't cook in my builds. What are you talking about? That doesn't happen. Stop it. Gonna be no cooking.
Yeah, if you want to fry, go ahead and get in one of my builds. You'll find a hot spot or two.
Man, I'm kind of a maniac. Let me save this before I do that again. I'm just like deleting my whole thing. All I gotta do is press one button to the right, and this whole thing's gone. And trust me, I am not going back to it. Not a freaking chance would I go back to this if I deleted the whole thing. Hell no. On to the next one. Crazy Z's LCD to... You mean Pear? Pear did the LCD to the pickaxe. I haven't yet. Honestly, that's why I haven't released it yet. Did you what? Oh, sorry, didn't recall who made it. Your HV will be something special, not just a boring 40-foot high Harley Davidson. Yeah. HV? What does he mean by HV?
The HV he's building.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but you're saying that motorcycle is legendary, dude.
Yeah, it really was. Oh man, Heck and Diver, now I want to download it and look at it early.
Yeah, I think it probably makes more sense. I just gotta make it make sense. I think I look better actually because it'll be like these big cylinders.
Man, I just looked at it in the challenge submission. Heck and yeah. Nice, Heckin.
Don't know.
Oh, he's sending me pics. But you can't see him.
Yeah, I'm really happy that that's something that I don't do. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been just pleasantly surprised with things that, you know, it wouldn't be, yeah, it'd be disingenuous, like in the stream, you know, like you wouldn't get that same reaction.
Yeah, I cheat a little. I like to go through and just give a quick look at it and a little thumbs up, you know, because it's so much good work. But I do cheat a little bit, so.
Yeah, like even when I go to sub to him, I don't look at him at all. Like I just quickly thummy uppy and sub and done.
Well, you know what, Heckin, you can put the car under my name. That's fine. I don't mind. Yeah, heck, and I'm the same. I love that. Just seeing what people come up with. This time I didn't submit just because I just couldn't get my act together to get a small starter CV that's upgradable. I tried several builds, just nothing was clicking. So I just can't wait to see what the rest of them, what you guys came up with. It's just so much fun to see it.
Wait, you didn't submit anything this month?
No, I tried. I really did. I probably scrapped 5 or 6 different CVs, and now I kind of have an idea of. Well, you've seen it already, but I'm seeing if I can make this a starter. So
What you're saying is you're gonna have it ready for the 3rd stream.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
All right. I just making sure. Cool. Nah, it's coming along good.
Yeah, that mech challenge, that was ridiculous, man. That was so hard.
Yeah, I agree. I had problems with that one.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a treasure there, Heckin. It's very clever.
Why do I smell a troll?
No, Heckin wouldn't troll. Heckin's too nice of a guy.
That heckin', right?
Oh, there's bad news in the chat for you. Garwin says, XCal, I'm sorry. I think they just removed the standalone color tool in the last patch.
What? Why would they do that? What kind of freaking stupid shit is that? Hold on. What am I on? I'll get to the bottom of that. Not on my watch.
Yeah, Heckin says it's gone.
Not only is it gone, but everything you've ever done with that old tool is now erased. That'd be what they would do, right? They would do something like that.
Yeah.
You gotta retexture everything.
Oh god, that would suck. That'd be terrible.
That'd be a dark era. You could imagine. I think Jay Randall would quit.
Yeah.
If Jay Randall had to retexture everything he ever did. Oh my god. You think he likes the texture? He really doesn't.
Yeah, no, he hates the texture.
He would. Oh my god. Like, we would go into a dark era of no texture builds.
Hey, I'd actually be okay with that. So
I would love it. We need to do that challenge again. Remember when we did the texture with shape challenge?
yes.
Oh, that was good times, man. We should do that again.
The only problem with that one is you had that feeling of, okay, I'm done. And then after you show it off, you're like, okay, I'm not done. Now I gotta do the worst part.
Oh, man.
Marius, the motorbike is never leaving. Sorry.
Who told you that?
No, I just know Elion. It's been there for how long? It's never gonna go away.
Dude, never give up, man.
Keep the dream alive.
Never give up. Taylin!
Hello.
What's up, man? You are live in stream. How you doing, man?
Doing fine.
Doing all right? I got a little question to ask you.
Ask.
I'm hearing rumors that the old school color tool has been removed, and now you have to use the stupid combination one.
Yep. No, not removed. It's disabled. It's hidden. You can unhide it if you want.
Oh, that's all I need to know. As long as I can still use it.
Yes, you can still use it. It's not deleted. It's just in the config file, in the items config. It's somewhere there, color tool, and it has then show user no. And if you show user and you make it yes, then it will show in game.
There you go. See that, guys? All fixed. I don't know how to do any of that, but I'll probably need
It got
like
hidden because we made a new color tool instead of that ugly looking thing.
Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. So now I'm even more confused. So in my stream, I have a color tool, ugly color tool, and then I have ugly texture tool. And then you guys made this new one that's both a texture tool and a color tool, which I hate using it. I don't use it. I'm against it passionately. What you're saying is you've made a new skin or you've made a new tool?
We made a new skin for the tool.
So then you still have a separate color tool and texture tool with a new skin.
The old one doesn't have the new skin, but you can change this. You can copy the skin from the combined tool to the old version, and it will do the same.
I don't care about the skin. I just like having a separate color tool and separate texture tool. I don't care about the skin at all.
You can still do that. You just have to unhide it in the config files.
Yeah, there you go, guys. That's a win. But how to copy full color sets now? I always did it with the... I don't know. Who cares? Colors are lame. All right, cool. So what else is going on? How's experimental doing with the server and all that?
It's fine, actually. There are not many. The most of the bugs got fixed. There are still a few open bugs, but most of it is fixed and it's pretty stable. So.
All right. That's good.
We're good. We're good for a release, and then we will finish the hut, and then we will try, because the Steam Summer Sale is coming up, as everybody knows by now, I think. We will try to finish the hut before the sale, so we can snoop in something extra.
Oh, what do you mean, like a sale in the game?
Um, the, every game is basically part of the Steam Summer Sale automatically, and if we manage to release the hut before the Summer Sale starts, then we might get some extra sales. Say it like that.
Okay, I gotcha.
That's the goal of it, at least, because we want to update the hut. Partly it's already done, but there are still a lot is reverted for the experimental because it wasn't ready and we didn't want to show it yet. But you get a new player hut.
Oh. Oh, really? Like,
Yes.
okay.
A new mouse pointer. What is better looking? Better that you can better see on the playfield, because the current one you don't see it that good. The icons are changed for the weather and all that kind of stuff to make it more interesting for a player instead of the few default icons that we used to have. And the plan was to also take on the life stats, oxygen, stamina, hit points, that area. But if that will still happen, I don't know, because we were arguing about it. The plan that we had, that didn't look that good. So don't know what will happen with that, but the plan was to change that as well. And more streamlined. At the moment, the UI is a bit of a mess. It's a bit of this, a bit of that. It doesn't really make sense with anything else in the game. It's more game looking, more Empyrion.
Right. Was there any arguing about shower curtains or motorbikes or anything I care about?
The motorbike is being talked about to do something about it, because we're getting done with that stupid thing as well.
Here we go.
The problem is that if we change it to a block looking thing, then we also need to change the handling of the bike, and that requires extra coding. And the developers of us, the ones who are writing code, we are running out of time. There are more things to do than I have hours in my day.
Well, okay.
Unless my days that exist at 48 hours, but that will not happen, I think.
I got an easy way to fix that. Just get rid of the whole concept of starting with some pre-made thing. Yes. Like, just why is that even a thing? You know what I mean?
Because the bike is on the same guy who did the CPU.
Oh, I guess.
And the same guy who does the thrusters, the whole flight controller. And there is a bit of arguing within the team about that. We want certain changes and he doesn't want to do the changes. And since he's a founder, he gets his will.
Right. Oh, another big question, right? So you guys freed up all these IDs, right? When you doubled whatever.
Oh, not free up. We added new ones.
Cool. You added up new IDs. Can we get all the textures for everything?
That has nothing to do with the ID system.
Damn it! Why not?
I saw your question earlier. Everybody still remembers that back in the days we were very limited in adding new blocks. The atlas was full. It is a separate atlas where that is added. And that same issue is with the texture atlas. It's full. And either we remove existing textures, what will break everything on the workshop.
Yeah, no.
Making it moddable has no point either, because there is no space. So the modder still needs to remove existing textures, what still will break everything on the workshop. So we need to find a good way in that to increase that atlas, but that hasn't been any priority actually. At least nobody ever mentioned it or talked about it. But if it is preferred by the players and they want that, I can bring it up. I have no problem with that.
Well, I don't want to, I don't want to change people's existing builds at all, right? Like that's never anything I'm supporting is to, because people that have already built stuff, and then for it to just go bad, and then they'd have to, not everybody. Yeah, that would be messy. I don't think that'd be a good idea, but, yeah, just looking for obviously with Xenoblocks with oh, what's the other one? Container extensions. Some of these blocks.
Container extension still has space, I think.
Yeah, because some of these blocks for container extensions, or sorry, some of these textures, are confusing. And
Yeah,
then, you know what I mean? And then it would be nice if, what would be nice is if all the container extension textures were part of all block textures. Because sometimes, you've got container extensions in different places and you want to have a uniform wall, but you can't because you've got these container extensions in one row, and then the texture pattern just becomes all messed up and you got to do something different. It'd be nice to where all these special new textures you did for container extensions, if they were in the main palette for like regular blocks, Obviously, more choices for container extensions would be good. I mean, if we were dealing with like 3D looking blocks that were specifically container extensions, I could understand having a separate texture group for it. But because they're essentially just blocks, I mean, some people like showing them, some people like hiding them. The majority of people, I think, hide container extensions. Like, you wouldn't be able to point them out from, a regular block. So it's like, because of that, it'd be nice if, we had the same choices to be able to do that properly.
I can talk about that. I can ask if there are possibilities. The atlas needs to be increased. That's one thing for sure. But we can talk about it internally if it is something we can put on the list. We're talking recently about a lot of requests from the public, because over the years we gathered of course a lot of requests, and we want to tackle them down. Actually, it's time that we start to pay some attention what the public wants, actually, and that is something we recently started to talk about. There are some things changing within Elion internally. Nothing that really concerns the public will matter for the public or something, but it's more streamlined, the process now.
Right. Well, listen, I would love to, if you need help, I would love to compile a list within the community of things that, we've seen over the years and think need a looking at. Like, if you just want a reference list of things that the community's looking for, we could definitely do that.
Rate me a list, and then I have points that I can bring to the team, and we can discuss them.
There you go, guys. Anything you want changed, Taylor will make it happen. No, okay.
I'll make it happen is a big word, but I will discuss it internally with the others, and then we can see what is possible and what takes more to do, and at least we can discuss it. If it will happen, it is still, of course, a big question, but
nice.
We discussed lately a lot, because the whole progression in the game is something we're discussing that has to be changed, because at the moment it makes no much sense. Yesterday we had a meeting, for instance. If you build your CV, what kind of danger do you actually have when you have that thing? The only thing that can happen is that somebody comes to shoot at you and destroys it, or a POI or an AI vessel. That's all what can happen.
Wait a minute, are you guys playing your game now? Is that what's going on? Look at you guys.
We always were playing the game, but internally it is, not saying it is.
I know.
It's not easy. There's too much going on. Too many people who want to do certain things. Then we have a couple of people who wants to do it their own way. And what did we do? We hired a company who is managing us. So they made the team to talk to each other, actually. So everybody puts his feedback now into it, and we have dedicated meetings. This is a meeting about content creation. That is a meeting about the official servers. The next meeting is about Planet Tech. We have Q&A meetings about the bugs and everything. And everything is way more streamlined. So actually something is happening.
Dude, I would love to be in a meeting like that. If I could just, can I be a visitor at like one of these meetings? That would be awesome.
I doubt they like it, but
Oh my god, that would be amazing. Just one.
for yesterday we had a 2-hour talk about content creation and about game progression and all that kind of stuff. And there are very detailed meetings, and it's then an outside company that we hired, and they help us, and
That's good,
it
man.
goes fine actually.
Really good. It's good to
It's
hear.
also why there are less bugs in the game at the moment. They help.
Yeah. Okay. Really?
Well, we never did a bug fix release. We always all the releases, all the alpha releases were just features, some bug fixes, and tons of new bugs. And now we decided version 1.6 will mainly be bug fixes and long-lasted bugs that the community is screaming about for years. They have a high chance to finally be fixed. We have a whole list of bugs that is so old and they need to be tackled down, and this is one of the things that we decided with this company. They are game producers. It's a company that is focused on game producing, so they are used to how to manage games. The portfolio has quite different games, and they help us because that's not something we have. There is no game producer.
Right.
And then now everything is streamlined. Everything is done on paper. Once every day we have a stand up. It's just half an hour. We talk to each other. We bring the issues to the table. We discuss it. For instance, when 1.3 released and was horrible broken, and 1.4 got released and still was horrible broken, that's something we discussed. It can never happen again. It should never happen again. And that existed. We made a rule book. What needs to happen with testing? What needs to be tested? How needs to be tested? Are we still adding code to the game? Well, there is a testing build that is a release candidate. All those things are now literally written down. This can't be done anymore. That can't be done anymore. This needs to be paid attention to, and this is how we function now. Something we should have done from the start.
Yeah.
But this is what you get when there are 4 founders, 4 voices. Try to keep them in one company. The founders are actually saying they made a mistake with that. They should have had one founder, one voice, one boss, one guy who says and who decides. Now there are 4. What if the 4 voices want 4 different things?
Yeah.
But that made a mess in Empyrion, but it also made a mess in the team. And now, with the help of this company, we hope we can do better. Because we still have plans for the next 5 years.
Wow. That's awesome.
There's a lot we can still do in the game. There is a lot to gain still.
Wow, look at you. You're like, I'm getting excited over here. Really? That's awesome, man.
Well, I'm quite happy with it as well. It's just there is so many things what come on the table right now that some of us, too much to do, and especially the coding part of the game. There are only 3 coders left who are coding. They have too much to do, and my day only has so many hours, and that starts to be the bottleneck at the moment, the coder side. Maybe if the sales go better and we actually make some money.
That's it.
Then
it's revenue. It's all revenue. When money comes in, suddenly you can hire coders. You can fix all these problems. You know, it's just money.
Yeah, but to make money, you have to. But to make money, you have to present in game what people are happy about, and we made so many mistakes in the past that a huge part of our player base is either pissed still pissed and still playing and screaming everywhere where they can, or they quit.
Yeah, but that, dude, I think it severely outweighs. I think people are pissed and still playing. Because, like I've said a million times, despite all of the problems, despite all of the shortcomings, this is leaps and bounds the best game in this genre. And the problem is not enough people know it exists, and that's really the only reason you guys have revenue problems. People don't know this game exists.
That's also a topic internally, marketing.
Yeah, nobody knows this game exists. You know?
For instance, Steam just had its open world sale, and Empyrion didn't play part of it. Why? It was a question internal as well. Why? Why didn't we not sign up for it? Every game in our genre was there, except we.
Well, I'll tell you why, though. Your Steam page looks like it's from 10 years ago.
Yes, but there was also another reason. That was because we were busy with 1.5, and 1.5 was being hyped and was experimental. So the founders thought it would not be good to play part in it, because it would not be nice to if people went 1.5, had too many bugs and couldn't play. That was the reason the founders gave. But yeah, you can agree with it, you can disagree with it. But there are also talks going on about marketing, about the Steam pages, about the website, the whole everything is topics at the moment. It's just a question, since you only have 3 coders left, where do you put your time in? Where do you put your priorities?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you know, the game stands on its own. You know, despite how confusing it is to start in the game, despite not really showing new players what the game has potential-wise, people stumble into this game and get immersed in it, and you know they become part of a community. They get outside help from content creators, whatever it is. They discover that this game is amazing and they stick around. The thing you guys gotta work on is that initial first impression. You know, the Steam page, the first 10 levels of the game. Once you guys solve that to me, that's the most important part right now. Because without revenue, you guys aren't gonna, you know, you guys are volunteering to continue developing this game. You know.
Yeah. Partly we started with it already, because that is 1.5. It is trying already. The first few minutes of the new escape pod start, missions got shifted. It's the first start of making the game better. Lesser people refunding, more people want to keep the game and continue playing. We made the first steps. We just now have to continue with it.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, listen, the meetings, the outside thing, that sounds great. That sounds promising, because I've never heard any positivity in that regard, right? It's always been conflict. So the fact that, you know, there's positivity there, that's awesome, dude. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, the founders realized it was needed to move forward. So, and they made a very good decision with it. We got introduced to them in December, and the first big thing that we did with this company is 1.5.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
And you will see now already the experimental game. It's way more stable than we ever released an experimental version.
Right. Oh, that's awesome, man. So, any idea on blocks, like more shapes?
That's on the list. That is time of the artists. One of the artists has COVID, so he's very, very sick, and he's not working at the moment. So there's only one artist at the moment who is working, and yeah, he's at the moment busy with the player weapons, because we had so many complaints regarding the weapons. They look the same, no stock on the back. He's trying to change that.
Okay. But it's on the list. I mean, it's something you guys intend to. Okay, cool.
Yes, more blocks would definitely happen. Hummel keeps a very nice list of what all the blocks that people are requesting in the forum post.
Okay, cool.
Just have to see when there is time for it. At the moment, we first want to fix the player weapons. We want to finish the hut. as some people already saw, we changed the loading screenshots in 1.5. It's now full screen, and we made up-to-date pictures instead of pictures from 5 years old.
Oh, see, that's awesome.
Yeah, they got replaced, and Hummel is now mostly we are trying to work, Hummel and me, to provide some content to have something to do in the game.
Okay.
Because that is missing. That is one of the reasons why we lost so many people to this Reforged Eden. We're not too happy about that.
Well, so what do you mean by content? Like, what's in Reforged Eden content-wise that isn't in vanilla?
More missions, more planets, more distinct planets, different planets, more planet types.
So, and this is like a broader conversation, not even just to Empyrion, but I think it's that question with survival, open world games is what's the drive? What's the point? Once you get off the starter planet, what's the next goal? And I think what Empyrion does pretty well is there's different levels to it. And I don't mean character level. I mean, I want to be a salvager. I want to be a miner. I want to go attack big ships. I want to do missions. I want to explore. I want to build things. There's so many different avenues you can go down. And I think that's what makes Empyrion better than most other games, because they don't have that many avenues. So there's people in my community that love to play PvP. There's people in my community that love to fight things. There's people in my community that don't like to be anywhere near a fight. There's people in my community that like to salvage shit all day and make really big, non-zeroed out space stations. There's, it's totally, there's a lot of different avenues people can go down. So I would just say that don't focus on one specific thing. Focus on the broader strokes, as you guys have kind of been doing. Because the most promising thing you said just now was that you got 5 more years of potential future development, which... That's awesome, man. That means you guys aren't going to be rushing to slapstick something on and call it done. You guys plan on continuing, going the long haul, and continuing to make this game, even more and more amazing. That's exciting.
One of the talks, for instance, is to make it more dangerous. At the moment, if you build a CV or you build a base, what can now actually happen to you? Basically, it's a safe haven. Nothing can happen to you.
Right.
The CV can get destroyed, of course, by the AI or by another player if you do PvP, but that's it. There is no environmental damage or anything. The meteors that you see falling out of the sky, it doesn't do anything. And that is also something we want to change, to make things an impact, make the environment actually that it matters to you as a survival. Because at the moment it doesn't, and there are so many things that we can still improve this game with, any aspect.
You're talking like world events and stuff, like actual, like planetary events that would cause you to have to evacuate the planet or things like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Because I mean, any way that you could justify why there's thousands of planets in the universe that you could visit, you have to give people a reason to want to go do that. And
indeed.
If you have to evacuate your planet and move somewhere else, and look for somewhere that has better climate, better whatever, that's exciting. That's a cool aspect of gameplay.
If you at the moment, yes, indeed. If you take at the moment to the default game, it has no point really to explore the universe.
Right.
You can live on the starting planet. You can stay there and have fun. You can get any resource in your starting system, as far as I know, and that's it. And that is basically the game. Then you build your CV, and then actually it's done. Game over. There's nothing else to do anymore. And that is something that has to change. And that is something, it will take longer before you will start to notice it in the game, because it really has to be thought out to do it in a good way.
Mhm.
And at the moment, we're putting it on paper with all kinds of charts and diagrams, and I have seen all kinds of things already in front of me. And so that's how we are trying to make the plans to get it shifted. And then we are going to see what can we do by just modifying the config files or the playfield files, and what has to be done by a coder, and how much time is it gonna take, and anything that we now do gets done with this company, gets being put on paper and gets thought about, instead of just adding it and then in the end figure it out. Oh, it doesn't work. It has to change.
Right.
And that's a good way of developing the game, I guess.
I think so. I mean, because that's it. You know, you guys put in coding to test something. You go, you know what? We're gonna have to come back to that next patch. So that coding is just sitting there, unfinished. And then 2-3 patches down the line, all of a sudden that's affecting something else. You forgot you guys were doing that, and then it just becomes messy, right? It just So this way, you know, execution, completion. That's gonna make things a lot more organized, and it's just simple. It's just simple management that I think needs to be implemented, and that's what I guess they're doing. So that's awesome, man. You give people direction, and you know, they execute things and they complete things, and that's just gonna make everybody happy, right?
Sadly, there is a manager now who there are actually two of this company are helping us. One is in game design, and the other one is more like a game manager. And with that, we're trying to put it all out on paper, and it makes sense what we actually are doing. The loaner screenshots is one of this thing. They saw it, and they were like, "No, this is not the game. Has to change."
Yeah.
And there we are. Got checked.
No,
There are
it's
many
true.
things
It's a beautiful game now, dude. I mean, you remember back then, dude. You couldn't even go around the planet. You warped onto the other side of the planet back in the day. You know, you there was a loading screen when you went into the universe from planet. I mean, the game has changed drastically from back in those days. But then you look at the pictures and you look at the really old builds, and I mean, man, you take any build from the workshop, I don't care where it's from, and it's gonna look better than most of the builds you guys have in your in-game artwork. Like, it's just leaps and bounds. People have gotten better and better building wise, and you know, so it's that's great that that's changing.
People build awesome stuff these days. This is why Hummel decided to open up this faction IDs to the game. People can add their own faction, throw your POIs in it. We will add it, no problem.
Yeah.
It finally got done. Years people were asking about it, and now we really do it actually. And we had the whole Far faction of the Brotherhood of Far from Spanish got added. This Wastelander faction from Script is being added.
Big hype. Arc too, right? Hecken's Arc.
It's not added yet. I don't know if he already posted it, but he talked with me, and I talked with Hummel about it, and we said as well, sure, provide your post on the forum, provide your stuff, and we will add it. No problem.
That's it, guys. You heard it, and you know, I've announced that several times in the Discord too. The POI Builders Club channel inside of our Anvil Discord. Post stuff in there if you want to build stuff for other factions. If you want to, you know, submit them. They need
submit them for sure. Hummel is slowly busy with it in getting things step by step added. So provide your builds, and we don't really have a problem with it anymore. And that's only a good thing. The game progressed so much. A lot is also being changed that we don't need a encoder anymore. Before you needed an encoder to add a faction, and the one who was doing it was always moaning about it. And he finally made it in a config file, and yeah, now Hammond doesn't need encoder anymore. He can just do it. Doesn't need to ask and keep complaining about it. Hey, add it and make sure time for it. It finally just gets done. That way, it was good to make the config files released to the public. The only thing we're struggling with is there are still more and more people are requesting to make things moddable. Part of the game is already moddable. And that's the only thing we're struggling a bit about, because the game was never made to be moddable. That's one thing. If you want to mod your own assets in it, you can do it in a very limited way, but you have to install Unity. That's one requirement. That is not easy to work with, and a lot needs scripts. Game scripts, and that got decided we will not release our scripts to the public. So the public will stay very limited in what is possible and what not. For instance, you will not be able to mod weapons or NPCs, because all that needs scripts. You cannot. The only thing you can basically mod is custom blocks. Like you can add a new constructor if you want to, or a new thruster, but you cannot add anything to this thruster basically, because you do not have the scripts that make the sound or make the particle effect or whatsoever. And that is a bit a problem. And this is with many things in the game. It was never made to be moddable. It was never made to be so much customized. We went a long way, but the downside of the config files at the moment is you see it with some scenarios that they are misusing the config files, to say it like that. They don't keep performance in mind anymore because there are no limits in the config files. And that is something that we also started to talk about. We might go introduce some limits, hard-coded things that you can't go. You can go this far and you cannot get over it anymore, because in the end we are getting the complaints. If people are playing a certain scenario and it crashes his computer, he will complain at us and not at the scenario writer, and or they write a negative review on our page, and we're getting a bit done with that. So that's something we have to work on. But for the rest, the game went a long way compared to what it was 5 years ago. I still remember when I started to play in like Alpha 1 or 2.
Oh, we were just talking about it. Like, I was just like, from Alpha 1 or 2, that's when I started, and but not even that. Alpha 8, Alpha 7. You used to be able to fly around in an SV with stacks and stacks of ore on you, and just and it was a different game. It's gotten better, but I think definitely Reforged Eden showed the capabilities of the game. And from a very immature standpoint, because they don't have access to a lot of things that they would need to really make the change they want to make. So they're doing like incredible stuff with just very, very limited ability and access, right?
We see it as well what they're doing. We have the scenario as well, so we look into it, and it's interesting what they do. We do not agree with everything what they do, but they're custom scenarios. They're allowed to do whatever they want, as long as it doesn't affect us. There are some people, for instance, who started to snoop into our files to get certain information out of it, and that's directly forbidden. But what Reforged Eden is very interesting. I never played it myself, but I have looked into it a couple of times because we wanted to compare something or get certain information out of it.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest, regardless, I think the biggest thing is that it's free. it's free feedback for you guys because you see real time what the player base is excited about and what they're not excited about. So you're able to look at that feedback and go, oh man, people are really digging these tier 2 turrets, like a way to upgrade turrets you already have, or people are really digging the way you can have quantum cores and you can earn more CPU for your builds to justify going against bigger threats and things like that. Like you guys are seeing that real time without any effort.
But just take the heal gun from Reforged Eden. They have that heal gun. This is also something that we talk now about, and it might get added actually in the default game. And then of course we will do some coding and we make it better. And because all they did was they added an item in the config files and then they did something in the the terms, the buffs and all that kind of stuff. They added something there. That's all what they could do.
Right.
And yes, we saw that, and we were also like, "Hey, interesting." So we'll try to make a better version, what works better, and so we see stuff as well from the scenario and say, "Hey, this is cool for our own game. Let's add it and let's improve it." So
and that's it. And I think honestly, that's everybody's ambition here, right? Like, the people that are making these mods and the people that are, building ships and building factions. I mean, everybody's doing it because they want to see Empyrion win. They want to see the game succeed.
Especially Rafian is very dedicated to Empyrion and build the best game possible, what everybody can enjoy. And I have seen what he did for Project Eden from the start, and cannot deny it. He made a very awesome scenario with the tools that he is having, and also with the information that he's having, because we're not helping him. He often asks me questions, or he asks Hummel questions, and more than happy to help him out with information. But it's not like that he gets inside information what you can't get or something. It's only what we can share, what the public knows. It's nothing eternally, and with that information, they made a pretty cool scenario. The only downside, what I personally think with the scenario, is it's not optimized. And especially on servers, take our server hoster Nitrado, it's not able to run this scenario. And yeah, it's a bit hard to come with a solution because we actually do not support modifying the game. So that standpoint point is still there. That we do not support it. You can modify it, but it's not like if you break it, you break it.
Well,
Your problem.
And I get that side of it. I mean, basically, as development, you guys are in control of how the game is perceived by other people. So if you see that there's an issue that it's perceived the wrong way, you guys can make those changes in real time. But if a scenario becomes so powerful in the community that it's now what people look at when they look at the game as a whole, and there's problems, and that one person doesn't necessarily have the same drive to want to fix it because it's their scenario, it's their opinion of what they want this aspect of the game to look like. I get that. It's a you lose a little bit of that I guess control over your product, right? But I think in a couple, I think it's a good thing though. I think it's more good than bad, just because I think that there's a lot of people passionately playing Empyrion today that I'm not sure if they would be so passionate if Reforged Eden had never existed. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder how many things could I have come up with to build for vanilla in the past year than what I've come up with in Reforged Eden, just because there's so many more complex scenarios to have to overcome in that gameplay versus vanilla. You know what I mean? Like, how many starter HVs can XCal really build? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's like, what else, how many different ways can I kill the Xerax frigate, right? Like, so, you need, and this is what's great about what you guys are talking about making more complex mid to end game, because, man, like, I can't wait to have to build something to overcome a tsunami or overcome some kind of weird meteor shower or whatever the hell is going to force me to have to exodus from a planet, right? Or, some crazy invasion of the legacy, Creel people that, they actively take over the planet with an entire army, and I have to literally get the hell out of there in exfil, right? Like, things like that, that's exciting. Like, that's something that I definitely am looking forward to seeing for sure. Like, that's really cool. So, just more of that, more but I'm loving it, dude. I'm loving what I'm hearing here. This is exciting. And I think the community shares it. I think, so many times have we, heard from development, heard from things, and it's been pretty dismal. And, it's like, dang, well, let's keep going because we love this game and we want to build stuff. But now it's like, oh, shit, you guys are... This is exciting. This is really exciting.
This is what I personally like about this company that we hired. We actually make the plans what we should have done years ago already. Yeah, I always say better late than never. So it's good. It really helps us, and hopefully we can fix the mistakes this way. And if we can show to the community we do better, then hopefully we also can get a larger player base. Yeah, and that opens up more possibilities in the end. More people is more income, is more developers, more stuff you can put out.
And to honestly, just to revitalize the people that have been passionately keeping this going, because that can't be understated either, right? Like, the amount of work that goes into a really small development team keeping a game like this going is, you guys have been working in developing this game for 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
That's not, constantly.
Personally, I'm very happy with the community. Like this server I'm hosting for you, for your server.
Yeah.
It really helps us, and I'm really great. It's great that it's possible. I just have to ask, hey, put on the warning out that people can log, so we get some extra logs the last minute. And people are doing it, and it for your players it's cool. They have a server to play on. For us, it's very helpful because we get the data we need. And that way, yes, utilize your community. And we discussed this server internally as well, and the founders say as well, yes, good that you do this, nice, thank him. And I'm trying, gonna make no promises, but I'm trying if I can get some free keys for you that you can give us away as a kind of thank you.
Oh, nice. Oh, man. And I'll be honest with you. I'm not an experimental player. I don't do experimental at all, right? I'm not. I don't.
You don't have to.
But yeah, but it's my community that was like, hey, could we get an experimental server? It'd be really cool if we could test out, and then it just worked. Yeah. So I mean, it was, dude, the people in this community, man, like, it's awesome. It is definitely awesome. They're definitely passionate about the game. They're they're passionate about playing it and keeping it going for sure.
That you don't have. Not everybody has to like experimental, but you have indeed a community that can help us. So why not?
I get it. I get it. It's a huge help. So I'm all for it, man. I definitely support it.
That's why I was when Dumbledore came to me with the idea. I was like, yes, why not?
Yeah.
I have the server space for it, so it helps us. It's fun for your players, for your community.
For sure.
And I have directly the logs, and there are quite some exceptions that we found this way. And yes, they will be fixed. They are fixed, so it definitely benefits because otherwise it would have been found when in the public and when it was in the stable branch. Yeah, that would be then the next disaster on the list.
Yeah.
we all know what 1.3 did. That ships were flying off like
Oh yeah,
nothing.
no, we remember. We remember, Dalen. Don't worry.
I try to forget it personally.
No, we recall.
That
Recall
kind
that.
of ruined my Christmas. I can tell you that.
Yeah. So
Because I was sitting here all Christmas reading all those complaints and complained and complained, and I was like, yeah, there is nothing I can say anymore that will make anybody happy.
trust me, nothing is more sad than when Jay Randall brings his precious new CV that he spent a week building, and it just flies away from his hands. There's nothing more depressing than that. That famous.
Oh no!
And that because of a bug fix. One old bug
Yeah.
that we fixed
Yeah.
what caused this mess. And then the fact that we had a very lossy experimental with that build. We had basically nobody logged in on the experimental. It never got found. And it's very sad, but then with a community like you to utilize it, to make use of it, why not? Your
Yeah.
players have something fun to play on, and for me, it's for us, it's very beneficial. It's a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely, that's it. I mean that's it, and I think honestly, like when we as a community think of content, when we think of things to do actively as a community, it's almost always at the benefit of the development of the game. Like we're always, like what do you think of the project prefab thing we're doing, the catalog?
Very interesting. I think it will help the game a lot because the workshop it's just one big mess. So many
Right.
things are mixed up, old, not working anymore, not being updated anymore. This down and up voting, well, it's just a pain in the ass.
Mhm.
I think it will be good to have a dedicated catalog. One for Reforged Eden, one for Vanilla, where you keep an eye on, and then, hey, your vessel is not working, update it. If you don't want to update it, sure, we'll remove it.
And that's it.
I think
so
it
you guys,
will be.
you guys have this master list to pull from as development, where you don't even have to think about it. Like it's certified, it's good to go, it's gonna work in the game. You give it a once over. This looks great, and it's just something else you guys don't necessarily have to devote a lot of time to maintaining, because it's something that and unfortunately the workshop is very limited in its management. It's very limited in its I mean, I've asked you a million times for the keys to the workshop. Like, let me just fix the freaking workshop. It sucks. Let me add categories. Let me add things. And it's just not that simple. It's like
No, it's not. We're bound by what does Steam give us. That's one thing.
Yeah.
We all know how Steam is. Steam cares about money, not really about delivering the product.
Right.
That is Steam, and then it comes down to there are some things that we can do, but we're very bound by what Steam allows you to do. And you can add categories, but you also have then to provide in your code a way that it does get categorized. And for instance, we already have a problem in seeing what kind of blocks are on builds. This is why, for instance, it's hard to see if a vessel is made in Reforged if you do not add a tags for it, because nothing in the blueprint basically tells, hey, this vessel is built in Reforged.
Yeah.
We have an issue in detecting the customized blocks, and that is a huge problem. But to change it takes so much time, and then you start to talk about what's the benefit? Yeah, the benefit is a perfect workshop, but then we also say, is this something that has urgent? Are there more urgent things? And then you come down to the fact, there are actually more urgent things to do than that. And now you can say, somebody will definitely say, this is urgent for me, of course, fix it. But
it's part of marketing. I think it's one of the most important things, because if you were to buy the game tomorrow and you never knew what Empyrion was, and you did a little research on the game, you realize a lot of games have workshops. You go into the workshop, you see the potential of what you could do in the game, and you stumble across a script build, a JRandall build or something. You go, holy shit, look at this thing. Somebody recreated the Razor Crest from Star Wars. This is awesome. I could fly the Razor Crest? Holy crap. And then they get in and they go into a vanilla, default mode, and they spawn in the Razor Crest, and they don't know that it's reforged. So they go to fly it, and the thing doesn't even move because the CPU blocks aren't the same. It's not configured the same way or whatever. And then they're pissed. They spent 6 hours getting the materials for this build, and it doesn't work. So they go, oh, the game's broken. They might not connect that, oh, a player built this thing, or, and I'm not even talking about prefabs. I'm just talking about the workshop. So, more information that they have to justify why it went wrong is going to improve your guys' situation with them in their 2 hours of return time, right? Because they're going to go, oh, okay, I guess this makes sense. It doesn't have this, and this is required for this. But when they don't have an explanation, it's extremely confusing for that new player, right? Because all they want to do is pretend they're Mando, right? They just want to fly around with Baby Yoda and be happy. They don't want to, they don't know any better. So, and I think that's a lot of it. These little things have to be fixed in that beginning game. The prefabs, the explanation of the prefabs and what they're about. If you go to the workshop and you try to search for an SV with a warp drive, how are you going to search for that? You know what I mean? How many people put warp drive in the title of their SV? So, you know what I mean? It's those things where it's like, you need more. We need more categories. We need more explanation. We need to be able to, do things. And luckily, there's a lot of designers in the workshop that take the time to write descriptions, to do these things. But there needs to be an in-game solution, for that. And so hopefully this project prefab thing is going to help with that. Hopefully we can get together later on in the future once this catalog's more built, and we can maybe look at like what we can do with the interface of the prefabs to maybe make it a little more refined, make it a little more easier to understand for those newer players as to what features are provided with these prefabs, when to use these prefabs, when to not to, what categories they belong to, industrial, mining, fighting, you know what I mean? Like, the ship may look cool, but you're going to get blown out of the sky because it's made out of plastic, because it's not meant for, combat. You know what I mean? So all these things are, especially prefabs are from development as far as anybody's concerned in the gaming world, right? A prefab is something that the development includes in the game. It's not workshop content. So they don't know that you guys pull from the community. They just assume like these are builds that your development team made. So if they're wrong and they don't work, it shows badly on the game, not the community. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's my kind of passion project about it, is like, I think these are some things that the community can easily fix, especially a building community like this. It's just an easy one.
It can definitely help us, and I'm sure we can find something what you will find that needs improvement, and we can discuss it and see the possibilities. Because that what I saw you mentioning when you announced it, the info that is shown in the screen, it gives a lot of info that is not interesting, and a lot of info that is interesting is not there. So I definitely agree there are things to gain on that area.
Yeah.
So if you come with a list and things, and you have to, hey, this needs changing, that needs changing, I'm more than happy to bring it with the team and make a discussion on it.
Nice. And I'm not in any way saying to dumb down the game. I mean, I think a lot of those like figures and stuff are very important for people. I think people want to see block count. They want to see these more advanced things. I'm just saying they don't need to be in the first block of it, because we need to attract the new players first, but then we still need to give people the P menu. We need to give people all this extra stat information, and because honestly, this is interesting to people. I mean, especially now in the gaming industry period, you have all these games that are coming out that are just very advanced Some games you need degrees for to play, like Stationeers and Dyson Sphere, and a lot of these other games that are a lot more advanced. But there's an attraction for that. There's so you guys are attracting the higher end lab coats, if you will, right? But at the same time, this is an everyman kind of game. There's something in it that everybody can enjoy. So for we still need to put the first most important information in the front, definitely.
There's especially there's a lot of information that needs changing for sure, and this is mostly it's still old. It got done years ago. It never got touched anymore, and it needs changing for sure. So if you have information on that, and you know what it should do, make me a list, make me mock up for my part.
Absolutely, dude. I got lists coming your way, bro.
For sure, send it over.
I got lists coming, buddy. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, but what we'll do is we'll make a channel in the Discord, and basically we'll ask that people provide a one-liner. I don't want paragraphs of stuff. I just want add information block to prefab thing. Add more blocks to game. Simple stuff that Talon can just go, oh, check. Yeah, we already know about that. We don't know about that. The more stuff you make them read, it might not all get read, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, I think it's important that we know that when we're doing it. But for sure, yeah, that's exciting, man.
Anything can be discussed these days internally. So give me whatever you want, and we can discuss it. Yesterday, I got a question from this company if I had more stuff that the community is requesting. So come with stuff, and then I have something to say.
Yeah, no, totally. There's lots of
Because
stuff.
they are interested in this. This company wants this game to change. It wants this game to go forward. It wants to. It sees so many things in this game where it is questioning why did this come this way. When we had the loading screenshot, they were like, why are you showing screenshots in a game that are 5 years old? Because they never got changed. Why did you guys never change it? Change it now.
Yeah. Can I add one more extremely important thing that I'm extremely passionate about? That's not motorbikes and shower curtains. You guys really, 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 really need to make weights and volumes in CPU default on. That is
I agree on that.
Huge problem because you guys are misrepresenting the entire game.
I'll talk about that.
So many people get into the game and they don't play with weights and volumes and they don't play with CPU, and that's fine. It should be an option. If you want to turn that off, awesome. But people are starting the game with that, and when you start the game with that, it's going to be the same as it was for us in Alpha 9. People are going to lose their minds. They're going to go, oh my god, what do you mean? Wait, what? I don't like this. This isn't good enough. This system doesn't make sense. And they're going to scream and go crazy. But if people don't know better, if they just, hey, that's how the game is, it's very accepting at first. It's like, okay, well, that makes sense. Weight should affect how a ship moves. Cool, next. Like, they don't even give it a second thought. But if you give them infinite cargo with no consequence, and then you take it from them, people have started to build stuff. They've invested. They're like, what do you mean? This is ridiculous. I can't do this. So all I'm saying is that it should be on by default. I'm not saying you should take away the option, but
it should be on by default. I completely agree there. It is part of the game. We should show the features that the game has to offer. There are some new people that joined the game. They come to the official Discord. They start to ask questions, and the first thing people ask, do you play with weights or volume? No.
Oh yeah. Boy, if you guys turn that shit on in a year, people are gonna lose their damn minds. Like, it should have been done. It should have been done a long time ago. But
it should have been done the day it was released. The first we said it is not stable enough. We're still tweaking the values, blah blah blah. But that's not the case anymore. It should have been default on long ago already. And each time I forget to talk about it. But yes, you're right. It's a very important point that definitely should change. I'll guess I'll start
It's
writing a
huge.
list
It's
down.
huge from a marketing standpoint. It's huge
Yeah.
because honestly, we've seen a lot of new people streaming this game. I've seen, like when I raid people every stream, I try to raid new people as well as people in my community. But if I don't see anybody in my community streaming, I'll raid somebody new that I see playing the game, like new start, brand new game. I've never tried this before, blah blah blah, and I'll unleash the anvil on them, and they're very helpful. They go in there, they're showing them how to play, they're giving them tips and stuff. But 9 times out of 10, they're playing with no weights and volumes. They're using motorbikes. They're doing all kinds of ridiculous stuff, right? And I think it's important, man. It's important because they're now representing the game to their community. And sometimes it's big streamers, people with way more, people than me, and they're looking at this game and they go, "Oh, this game's cool," but but they're not getting the right first impression of the game off the bat, And that's the scary thing is, that's revenue right there. That's free revenue. People just streaming on their own accord. You're not asking them to stream; they're just streaming. And if the game's misrepresented for them, that's a problem. So yeah, that's a huge one. That's huge for me. And I think for a lot of people.
With Friday we have a meeting again. Then I will take it with me to turn that stuff on.
Yeah, for sure, dude. So that's exciting, man. So weights and volumes, CPU, deleting the motorbike, no shower curtains or a washer and dryer. Either or. If you add a washer and dryer, I'll be okay with shower curtains. But there's no way to wash them. That's disgusting, man. I listen. I'm ex-Navy, dude. I was in a berthing with 60 other guys. Shower curtains get really nasty. They need to be washed. So, just saying.
Washer and dryer.
Yeah, it's a thing. We need a washer and dryer. Deco washer and dryer, and I'm good.
Not that difficult to add a few deco objects like that. Or like 2048 new IDs, so plenty of stuff that can be added.
Dude, yes, I can't wait for that. I'm not even gonna talk about that because I know you guys are working on that. You got artists and stuff, so I am excited about a lot of new stuff for sure. Building stuff.
Problem is that we have so much to do, so much in assets that got backlogged because of the ID limit. Now the ID limit is increased, and now the artists have work to do.
Yeah.
And it all needs to be added. Then an artist who's sick, who can't work at the moment. It's a small team, too much to do, too much to change, so much that we still want to do, so much that we still have to do. It's quite.
I get it.
I'm not complaining about the workload, but sometimes it's like. Give me a break. Got enough to do already, like that. And today something came up with loading screens. I'm the only one who has the hardware for it, so another task on my list. Who has to do that? Then I have to make changes on the official server since I'm in charge of them. That is, so I have those players who are requesting tons of things that I need to change and. Too much. It's really too much, but we're getting there, and we made the first changes with 1.5 already. What should appeal to the first 2 hours of playing the game, and more is coming. More is definitely coming, and same with blocks and all that kind of stuff. Now at the moment it's fixing the player weapons. But I have seen sketches already for new HV constructors.
Ooh.
Instead of this block-looking thing what you have at the moment.
Okay. So so there you go. That opens up another one. So if you're gonna add a new look, can we preserve the original look? Or are you gonna take the original look? Because that's always been a big problem.
It will preserve the block-looking look. That will stay. It just will look better than what it is now.
Oh no, I'm fine with that. What I'm saying is, so the original HV constructor, right? Can that
Yes.
remain in the game as an option, like a right-click option? So hey, there's more than one version of this HV constructor, and if you want to use the old one, if you want to use the new one, because people are still asking for the original warp drive with the ring and the, you know what I mean? Like, because
The original warp drive is still there, or it's just hidden. But the
yeah,
donut,
so that we need the donut.
the asset,
Right.
the asset is
If
still
you
there.
right click, if we just give us right click options, and then because a lot of times people, we do creative things with building to where like you remember the old O2 station, right? The one that looked like a trash can.
Mhm.
Not the old one, but the kind of old one. Some of my builds were built specifically for that. So when the new one came out, it looked really weird
Yes.
protruding out of this thing. It would have been nice to have the option to stick with the old one. Or
Problem is that most of the old assets, they are not ours, so
their
we do
default
not
Unity.
want
I
to.
gotcha. Yeah.
We do not want to have them as a right-click option because that will basically say that they're ours and they're still in the game. They are still in the game and you can still use them, but you have to modify the config files to make use of them. But that's a bit of the problem with the default stuff. And there is so much still default in the game, and we actually need to get away from this.
Yeah.
But because of our small team and the game 1.0, it should have been changed long and long ago already. But then we come down to the part is very small team, too much to do. This whole 1.0 decision was just plain out wrong. It should never have been getting out of early access, if I'm honest. And we all say it internally, we all mention it, but yeah.
Well, did you guys experience an influx of revenue when you went to release?
No, completely not. Not that I know of.
I think that was your main reason for doing it anyway, right?
There is a bit of a different thing. It's an internal. There is an internal struggle going on between the founders. They are fighting, to say it like that. There are 4 founders. They have issues. That's where all the trouble comes from.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm just happy that you guys are working through a lot of that. I'm happy that people are sitting down and talking about the future of the game. I'm happy that you guys are making plans to continue developing the game. That you guys are in tune with what's going on with the mods, and you guys have an opinion about it. It means that you're paying attention to it. All these things are good. All these things sound like, yeah, this is awesome. I'm really genuinely happy about all of that. So yeah, that's good, man.
We hope in a few days we can show it in the modified player weapons. That people will be more happy about them.
So okay, when you say modified player weapons, are these skins
Well,
or are these?
We added a new pistol, a new shotgun, and a new assault rifle. At least new skins for them. They were built in mind to be modifiable in game. So the plan is to add a system in game where you can add a light to it, or a stock, or a different scope. So the weapons are made with that in mind. That's why they look so the same, because we already planned it like this, and we made a stock for it and everything. But there's all modifiable, and since this system will not happen anytime soon, we talked about it internally because we get tons and tons of negative feedback regarding the weapons, that they look too much alike. The color looks shit, no stock. The pistol is pretty okay, but the shotgun and the assault rifle, they look too similar.
Right.
People do not like that. So since they are built with this system, this modifiable system in mind, that you can modify and mod them from in the game yourself. So we add different scope, different stocks, different barrels, and you can choose in game what you want on your weapon. Since that system will not happen anytime soon, we decided now that the artists have to look again to the weapons and modify them and make them fixed at the moment with different colors, add the stock, add the better barrel, make them more better looking than what they are now.
Yeah, modular weapon. That sounds really cool. That would be
Yes, but it requires an all new system, and if that
I
will be
gotcha.
written anytime soon, I doubt it.
Right.
Because that is gonna take tons of time again, and yeah, the time is already limited from the coders. And
No, I gotcha. Honestly, like if you guys spent the next 3 patches just fixing what's already there, bug fixes, organizing the CPU versus the tech tree versus actual beginning game versus prefabs, if you guys just fix that whole problem, man, I would be elated, dude. Like that would be awesome, because honestly that would fix a lot of your guys' problems, man. I think that would fix revenue. I think that would bring a lot more people in here, and a lot more people would stay here, because once you get to mid game and the game really opens up and you understand that this is an amazing game, but it takes a while to get there. Unfortunately, your eyes don't get opened until you kind of leave the starter planet and understand the potential of what can happen in the game. And Reforged Eden helps a lot with that, but even just Project Eden helps a lot with that. Storyline helps with that. A lot of these things like Progenitor Space and all this other stuff, like these are all potential challenges that players are going to be invested in and immersed in. There needs to be immersion. There needs to be a constant struggle. There needs to be a justifiable reason to do things in the game. And yeah, no, it's exciting, man. I'm happy that you guys are moving forward, dude. That's awesome.
we see as well what things like Reforged Eden, what they have done, and yes, then we see as well, hey, these are things we have to look at in the default game if we want that the people are playing the default game, because that's in the end our goal. We gave the option to modify the game, but in the end we developed the base game, the default single player, and that's what we of course want that people play. And yes, we take a look to what Ravian and what Vermilion has been doing, because Hummel often checks reforged config files and see if he can find something interesting that looks nice for the base game. And if he complete happy about it, what he all sees, I doubt it. But for instance, we added in 1.5 different versions of the that alien turret, that round thing that we created, and together he saw in Reforged as well different projectile colors for it, and completely got added. Nice. Now by default. So yes, we see very well as well what everybody's doing with the game. If it is now Reforged Eden or some other scenario that is interesting on the workshop, we definitely see what people add, and we take a look to those things as well, and see if there is interesting things for the basic game.
Awesome.
Because in the end, that's what we want people play, and we know we lost tons of people to Reforged Eden, because what they have done with the game, they modified the whole CPU system and everything, and it is a very interesting idea what is being done with it.
Yeah, I mean, you say lose, but we're still playing Empyrion. You know what I mean? And
you're still playing Empyrion, yeah.
I think that's the benefit for you guys is, you can't play Reforged Eden without Empyrion.
True.
You know what I mean? So
yes.
It's to me, it's honestly, it's free feedback. It's a test scenario, if anything. It's like, hey, these are potential things that we could do with this game. and people love this, and this is why they love it. We don't like these little aspects. We can change these little aspects and implement it in vanilla. It's your game, you know? I mean, it's literally like, to me, it's like a lot of the work has already been done, and a lot of that work is the creative process of understanding, you know, what you can do to this game to make it better. And you guys already have all the information in front of you. You already have all of that. All you need to do is pick and choose what you want to put into it, what you want to expound on, what you want to leave out, and implement it into vanilla. I mean, there's no, you know, these are all, it's just, it's, you know, the same with building, the same with everything. You know, Empyrion development benefits more than, I would say, just about any other game in the industry, in that it has so much player-driven content that you guys can pull from. It's insane. You know, not only are people building assets, building POIs, building patrol vessels, building potential ships that people can fly, but now they're building like game content that, you know, is tested and loved by the community. And you know what I mean? It's like, hey, you know, people love the med gun. Cool, let's add the med gun. People love the, you know, to me, I would just implement a lot of this stuff and then fine tune it as you go, but get the stuff in there. Because honestly, there's a lot of things about Reforged that people don't necessarily like, but they tolerate it because they want the other stuff. If they had the other stuff in vanilla, I guarantee you a lot of people would decide a little differently on what version of the game they want to play. But because it's all or nothing right now, people want to go for the goodies. You know, people maybe don't necessarily like the flight model of SVs in Reforged. They prefer the flight model in vanilla, but they want to have the you know, the really cool turrets on the SV, or they want to have the torpedoes or the bombs or these other things, you know.
Yes, I get it. I think there is a lot to learn, and from what the cool things in those scenarios, what we can gain out. And today we talked about planets, and one of the things is there are many planets possibly we could use from Project Eden and implant actually in the default game, because they are quite similar in what we do with it, and they're very cool both. And this way, we all can benefit from each other, even in the scenario writer.
Yeah, I mean,
can
they're not
benefit
your competition, right? Like
No.
you guys have all the revenue. They're not, you know what I mean? Like the only ambition they have is making the game cool, and I think that's the big benefit, man. Is you guys, you know, I mean, it's a win-win to me, man. It's a win-win when somebody could take a build that I have, and you know, like Stan, man. Stan will take the auger, and you know, because I went to do I think it was season 1, and I wanted to use the SV auger to mine, and the generators weren't enough for it, and I was like, man, I gotta tear this thing apart. They're like, no, Stan's already made a version of it that works, and I'm like, oh well, shit, cool. Like, so he took something that I built and he improved upon it, and everybody's using it, and I'm like, well, shit, that's awesome. I didn't have to do it, you know, and I was happy with it. Now, if I wasn't happy with the color he used or something, I would have changed the color and made it mine again. But the fact that he was able to put in that input and open my eyes to, you know, how it was solved or whatever, I mean, that's part of what this game's about, is creative development and improvising and improving on things that are already there.
Sure.
Well, Talon, dude, I appreciate you popping in, man. I know this definitely turned into more than... I just wanted to ask about shower curtains, and it got it got out of hand. But dude, I appreciate, as always, man, your honesty and your willingness to conversate with the community at large, as well as the Anvil. And also, like, big shout out to you for hosting the experimental server for us, giving people a something to do in between the seasons 2 and 3.
You're welcome.
Very cool. And yeah, Donk, you're somewhere back there, maybe we lost you, but thanks. And yeah, yeah. Anything else to say?
I want to thank everybody for help testing, of course, with 1.5. It really helps us, and for the rest, yeah, keep playing. I would say keep building and keep us showing what you do with the game. If you have a faction or builds you would like to that they will be added to the game, shout out to us. Either on Discord or the forum. You can reach me anywhere.
Absolutely, guys. And later tonight, I will have the channel open. I'll announce what I was talking about as far as a master list of improvements that you guys think the game needs, and we'll get all that data over to Taylor. Thanks a lot again, man. Thanks everybody for being here, participating, and we're gonna hit XCaliber up. He's building something enormous, or he's not. Oh shit. Okay. Apparently he's not anymore. What else we got? Oh, no, he is. Weird. I don't know why I did. Huh? Gonna let me raid somebody, right? No, it's not gonna let me run anything. Damn it! It's not letting me raid. Something went wrong. Try running that quick action again later. Come on, man. I just want to raid somebody. Try one more time here. Nope. Alright, guys. Listen, you guys know the address. Go hit up XCaliber. Go hit up Script HD. Support them. Watch them. I will catch you guys on the next one. Until then, take care, everybody.